Today's lesson, we are talking about a simple guide to flexible dieting. So flexible dieting is something that everybody should strive to have, and it's basically just a simple lifestyle diet where you can look good, you can feel good, you can be healthy, and you can have wiggle room in your diet where you don't have to be so restrictive and you can go out and have a drink or go out to eat or have some fun foods. Now, the issue with flexible dieting is the whole if it fits your macros perspective got a little bit carried away, and people were thinking, oh, if it fits my macros, I can just have anything. So I can have cereal for breakfast and chicken fingers for lunch and Oreos for dessert. As long as it fits my macros, I'm good. And technically, if you're talking about physique, maybe that could be the case, but if you really dive into what's actually going on inside, it's not necessarily optimal. So with flexible dieting, we want to strive to have good performance, have good digestion, have good hormone health. So step one is understanding your intake budget, which are your calories and your macros. So we can relate this to your financial budget. If somebody came up to you and they gave you $100,000 and they said, this is the only money that you can spend for the next 12 months. And you were super hyped and you went out and you bought a $50,000 car and you spent another $20,000 on something else. While it may seem very freeing and great in the moment, now you only have $30,000 for the next 12 months. So now you have to be a little more restrictive. By the time that 11th month hits, you're not really going to have a lot of money to spend. Calories are the same way. So when you're trying to be flexible, and let's say you want some pancakes, right? You have 250 grams of carbs for the day. You go out in the morning and you want some pancakes, you have 200 grams of carbs. Now you only have 50 grams of carbs for the rest of the day. So again, in that moment, it might seem very freeing and I can eat whatever I want, but now what are you supposed to eat for the rest of the day? A way to be flexible and smart with it is maybe only having 100 grams of carbs, maybe having a little bit less of the pancakes, maybe having a side of pancakes and a more nutritional meal. You can be flexible with all of your calories, but you have to be smart. You have to be able to fit things in. You have to be able to spread it out throughout the entire day. Step two is hitting your macros. So you want to consider now your fiber, your vitamins, your minerals. So again, going back to the first example, if you're only considering things that fit your macros and you're having cereal and chicken fingers and Oreos and all these things fit your macros, and yes, that's great, but are you getting the right amount of fiber? Are you getting the right amount of sodium? Are you getting the right amount of green vegetables, of fruit? These things are very important, and before you can get flexible and have all these fun foods, you have to make sure you keep this in mind. This is what's going to keep the inside healthy. This is what's going to keep your hormones healthy, your digestion well, and your performance. Next step is your nutrient timing. So this is where the flexible diet kind of makes your lifestyle. You have the ability to choose when you want to eat, how many times a day you want to eat, when you want to eat your macros, what's going to make you feel the best. So let's talk about number of meals per day. You can have 2 meals per day, you can have 3, you can have 6, whatever you prefer, that is your life. You have the flexibility to choose how many meals you want to eat throughout the day. So let's say you have a really busy day and you like to eat before you go to work and then eat after you go to work and eat right before you go to bed. That is your life. You have the ability to do that. And like you can split up your meals, you can also split up your macros. So for example, I work out in the morning. So after I get out of my workout, I have a high carb meal with high protein. Now, somebody else, maybe they work out at night and they don't want to have a lot of carbs in the morning because it's going to slow them down for the rest of the day and they're going to feel like they don't want to work, they don't want to get things done. So like you can split up your meals, you can also split up your macros. You can split up when you're having your carbs, when you're having your fat. Right before your workouts, you can have easily digesting food, and then once you finish your workout, you can have all your vegetables. You can feel a little more bloated, like it's not going to be a big deal because you already perform the way you wanted to perform. So the last step is being flexible with what's left. This is that 80-20 rule. So at this point, you understand that you have a budget. You understand that you have to have your micronutrients in order to thrive. You understand that you can be flexible with your nutrient timing. So now you can be flexible with what's left. And when I say what's left, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be at the end of the day. That's something that you want to do, go ahead, it's your life. But maybe you're not the kind of person that likes to have dessert at night because it'll make you binge. Maybe you like to have dessert in the middle of the day after your lunch. Whatever, it's your life. You can be flexible with that. Your what's left is basically your wiggle room. So once you kind of understand that you can spread everything out throughout the day or throughout the week, now you can use wiggle room to have condiments on your meals or to have dessert whenever you want. Or maybe you want to save that and you're good with using it for alcohol on the weekends. Now this what's left is for you to be social, is for you to not feel restricted, is for you to not hate your diet. All of this is going to affect your relationship with food. It's going to affect your lifestyle. This is a lifestyle diet. You want to have consistency with your diet. You don't want to constantly go up and down and binge and restrict. Have some consistency, have the ability to be flexible with the things you are eating, but you're also making sure that you are healthy, your hormones are healthy, and you're performing in the best way that you can perform. As usual, thank you for learning with me. Hope you learned some things. Share this video if it helped you. Share it if you think that it will help a friend. If you have any questions, I am always here for you. Peace out.